Hi friends, hope you're whelmed. This video has been brewing for a while since I've been playing a bunch of cafe themed games lately, partly because I really like them, so Steam recommends a lot, and partly because I just wanted to. I noticed that a lot of the games I've been gravitating towards are relaxing, go at your own pace, and can be customized to some degree. I've really been enjoying these 5 cozy cafe management games, and I hope you will too. I organized the games by release date this time, so we'll be going through them from newest to oldest. I will say, one of the games doesn't even involve making coffee, but visiting a coffee shop is a core part of the gameplay, so it went onto the list. And because I know I'm going to forget to do this later, if you enjoy this video and you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, and hit that bell icon like it owes you money if you want to see more like this. First off, we have Nom Nom Cozy Forest Cafe, which may be the cutest game I've seen in at least 2 years. It also feels like it's geared more towards the lil gamers, which is not a knock against Nom Nom at all. The gameplay loop is simple. You'll be brewing drinks and making treats to the beat of simple rhythm games. Each dish has their own individual song. If you're unsatisfied with your final score, you can redo the minigame with absolutely no penalty. You can also take all the time you need to decorate your treats, and you won't need to restock ingredients. The customers you unlock through playing come in every day, ask for something, and then pay you for it, tipping if you add their special request. It's safe to say you're probably the richest animal in the forest after a few weeks, because the only thing you have to pay for is furniture, which is reasonably priced, all things considered. You'll also be boxing up takeaway orders to earn tokens. You can spend them on randomized furniture items. Luckily, everything's pretty cute, so there's lots of stuff you're probably going to have your eye on. But besides decorating desserts that look like they belong on a curated feed, you'll also be decorating your bakery, which doesn't cost anything unless you decide to purchase more furniture. Want to change the walls or the floors or the color or pattern of the tables? Nom Nom Cozy Forest Cafe has incredible customization. You can even hang your own art in the shop, use it in coffee, or draw it out on a donut. Honestly, I'm not a particularly skilled artist because of the whole cerebral palsy thing, but I had so much fun surprising my customers with terrible latte art. You can also take pictures of literally anything and keep your snapshots in an in-game photo album that your customers don't mind appearing in. Speaking of the customers, they're so cute. I mean, the game's whole aesthetic is too adorable for words, but I actually don't have a favorite customer because over the course of playing, I started to look forward to each one visiting, and the silly requests they'd have. The dialogue is simple and nothing heavy or emotional, but still, the characters are still distinct, and I love that each one of them has a different nickname for you. Nom Nom Cozy Forest Cafe is the game on the list that I keep going back to, even though I don't really care about decorating and the gameplay loop is pretty repetitive. I don't mind though. I look forward to the different orders and I kind of enjoy being good at the rhythm minigame, since they're not typically my strong suit. I don't know why I love this one so much. I just do. Our second game is Cats and Cups. If you've been around my channel since last year, you know I absolutely fell in love with Cats and Cups when it released. A simple cafe management sim with 3 gameplay modes, it's the perfect palate cleanser to use between other games. Cats and Cups isn't a particularly complex game, with fulfilling orders and restocking your supplies being how you measure success. Despite the simplicity, there's plenty to keep you busy with various recipes to learn, or in the case of croissant baking, you'll be doing guesswork to round out your recipe book, documents to sign, upgrades to purchase, and even the occasional visit from your local crook. But also, I can't be mad at him. He's a dog in a trench coat. Look how freaking cute that is. Your landlord, though, might be the closest thing to a bad dog I've ever seen, and only because he randomly shows up demanding money, in addition to the daily rent you pay. If you respectfully decline, he respectfully breaks your equipment, which puts a real wrench in the whole trying to run a business thing. Honestly, it's a cute game, and its repetitive simplicity will definitely keep you busy. If you can get it on sale, that's even better. I know Rogue Duck has a game where you run a perfume shop releasing soon, and I'm really excited to try it. Coming in at number 3, we have Critter Cafe. This released to mixed reviews back in 2024, and the only reason I even tried it was because I got it at a discount. Even then, the first time I fired it up, it just didn't grab me. I'm so happy I gave it a second chance. Critter Cafe is a cozy hybrid between a cafe sim and a creature collector with an absolutely gorgeous art style. This is one of the prettiest games I've ever played, and the character customization is impressive and seems tailor-made for people who love the anime-inspired aesthetic and vivid colors. I also really enjoy the actual process of running a cafe, which mostly consists of cute little mini-games to put together orders, serving customers, and decorating. After work, you'll be headed to Honeycrisp Falls, armed with potions sent to you by a mysterious benefactor. It's your job to open portals with those potions, hop inside, and solve environmental puzzles to rescue the cute little critters trapped inside. Afterwards, you'll care for your new critter companions and bring them back to the cafe with you, increasing their bond with you as well as the cafe's status. Genuinely, some of the puzzles are head scratchers, but solving them makes finding the new little creatures that much more rewarding. So far, I've brought back 3 to the cafe. I was completely absorbed in playing this and had just rescued Lazy Wing, but when my PSW showed up, I had to save and quit. While decorating is a big component in Critter Cafe, it's balanced out by all of the other things you can do, so I actually enjoy retheming the cafe and the critters' habitat when we level up and unlock new furniture. I also think customizing the critters was a really nice touch. It just gives each of them a more personal feel, and I love that. I guess the moral of the story here is to not judge a game by your first experience with it, or something like that anyway. Moving on. Number 4 is the wild card. Remember how in the intro I mentioned that one of the games is more about visiting a coffee shop than managing one? Rolling Hills Make Sushi Make Friends is the weirdest little game I've played in a while. It's unashamedly quirky, but not in the way that will make your skin crawl, and it's as silly as it is chaotic. I just want to know, did everyone know about this game and not tell me? SushiBot, a cute little robot, has been lured to the sleepy town of Rolling Hills under false pretenses, which is just a dramatic way to say the mayor lied and told you Rolling Hills was a metropolitan wonderland. Undaunted by the change of scenery, or maybe feeling an excess of pity for the old man, you agree to stay and take over the town's sushi restaurant, which the mayor is hoping will become its crown jewel. Rolling Hills has the snappy pacing of a mobile game, but I mean that as a compliment. While you won't be preparing the sushi you serve the clientele, you still have to manage the restaurant, stock ingredients, upgrade recipes, complete quests, and of course, there's a curse on the town. So now you're obviously going to be the one to break it because you're basically the chosen one. Along the way, though, you'll have plenty of time to decorate and upgrade your restaurant, clean up after litter bugs for money because recycling pays, and even welcome newcomers into town. So where does the coffee shop fit into all this chaos? Naturally, SushiBot wants to make friends, and there's no better way to do that than hitting up Brew and Browse, the town's cafe, where you can sit down over a cup of joe and get to know your neighbors. This is an absolutely integral part of the gameplay loop because you'll earn perks and upgrades through socialization with the townspeople, and as the story progresses, you'll unlock new ways to bond with them, like ordering dessert instead of coffee. There are a lot of familiar mechanics in Rolling Hills, but they're introduced in such a unique way that I don't think I've ever seen before. An example of this is fishing. SushiBot can't fish, so there's no minigame for it, but Coggy will fish for you if you see bubbles in the water. Rolling Hills is such a cute, charming game, and there's enough brewing beneath the surface to make it worth your time. I adore Rolling Hills, and I don't see it talked about a lot. It's available on Steam and Xbox One, and it is recommended to use a controller. For what it's worth, I don't, and I haven't noticed any awkwardness with movement or selecting things in the various menus. The last game on the list will probably be familiar to you if you've been a cozy gamer for a while. Pixel Cafe is a stunning blend of visual novel and cafe sim that I don't think I've ever seen done quite like this. You'll play as Pixel, a young woman who's recently inherited her grandparents' home in a small town. In order to make it in the food industry, she'll have to be quick, resilient, and able to plate up combos like it was a birthright gifted to her by the Blue Fairy post-Maleficent curse. But the more you play, the more you'll uncover about Pixel's story, and you won't be the proud owner of your own restaurant as soon as your feet hit the ground. You'll start off at a dive bar that caters to live bands and slowly wend through other job opportunities, using the money you earn to redecorate Pixel's inherited house and unlock upgrades for the home, for her job, and for Pixel herself. While the gameplay is basically a more involved version of one of those time management mobile games, which for the most part I love because Pixels doesn't have microtransactions, the story is the most interesting part, as it breathes life into the beautiful looking characters and really lets you feel for Pixel as she looks back on her past and tries to navigate her future while in the throes of young adulthood. I really am enjoying this so far, and I think if you like those restaurant management games on your phone, but you're burnt out from the microtransactions, try Pixels. It's the gameplay you're familiar with, just nicer, better, and without any sneaky money grabs. So these are the 5 cozy cafe sims I wanted to share with you today. Let me know if I missed any must-play cafe games down in the comments, and also I'm curious, what's your go-to order when you visit a cafe? I'm not a coffee person, so I always go for the sweets. If you've made it this far, thanks so much. I hope something made you smile today, and I'll see you next time.